Dude, you're a sissy.
Dude, you're a
Bro,
sissy.
You're a sissy.
No, you are. Okay. You know what?
What's going on, guys? Coach Frank at the compound with my good sissy friend Mitch, and today we're going to talk about blowing up those quads. IFBB Pro Mitch, why are our quads an important muscle, not just for bodybuilders, for men in general? Like, so let's talk about the importance of quad development and why most people don't have great quads.
Yeah, so quads are important just due to the overall balance of our body. In order to have like a balanced physique in general, I mean, we all want to have like overall symmetrical muscle balance,
Yeah,
right?
like they used to build in the classic era of bodybuilding, right?
Exactly.
The 70s, and I know that's what, like, you fell in love with that, and that's what got you into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And the legend himself, Vince Gironda, who's a trainer of the stars back in the day. This man trained Arnold, he trained Franco. He was the known celebrity in the bodybuilding space. He's written a free report, or we've put together a free report with his best workouts, his best exercises. You click the link down there in the pinned comment below. You can grab Vince's 8x8 workout program. So quads and hamstrings and glutes, I think that there's a lot of misconceptions around the building of quads. I think a lot of people think that all you need to do for quads is squats. Why is that maybe not 100% true, Mitch?
I think a lot of people focus too much on squatting, and with squatting, they're always wanting to get stronger.
Yes.
So many people will think of squatting heavy as in getting bigger legs.
Yes.
When I first started bodybuilding, I would load up the squat rack with 315. And this was me being 150 pounds. And I would try to do 4 to 5 reps, and I would get them.
Yep.
Now, the issue with the reps is my mind-muscle connection is literally non-existent.
Yeah.
So with it being non-existent, I'm not really targeting my quads the way I'm really supposed to be.
You're recruiting all the muscles.
Exactly.
You're recruiting quads, hamstrings, glutes, your lower back is involved. You're pushing through your chest, you're pushing through your lats. And as we talk here on the Compound channel about specifically muscle building or hypertrophy focused training, we must understand that there's a lot of different ways that you can go into the gym and train, but if your goal is muscle building, you need to be focusing on mind to muscle connection, the contraction, and how much tension you're creating through the muscles. And you create tension in one muscle by locking down everything else and solely isolating that one specific muscle. That's why something like a squat is not a great exercise specifically for quad development. Will your quads get stronger? Absolutely. You're gonna recruit the shit out of them in doing this exercise, but you're also gonna get a lot of hamstring development. You're also gonna get a lot of glute development. If you want to build the front portion of your legs, your quadricep muscles, you wanna find a way to isolate that. You can isolate them great through a leg extension, right? A seated machine that have a lot of gyms. A lot of you guys out there training at home or training at smaller gyms maybe don't have this exercise, but we can do a variation of a squat, one that was famous back in the day and has kind of been lost. It's not something you see in a lot of gyms these days. So we're gonna walk everybody through how to do a sissy squat, because I believe it's one of the best quad exercises, isolation, to really blow those up. So Mitch, why don't you walk us through how to do the sissy squat here? We'll kind of give everybody at home a few short cues. So as you can see, no bar. That's the first thing that you're like, wait, what's going on? How's he gonna train his muscles without any weight? Trust me, when you try these out, you're gonna understand why he doesn't need any weight on his bar. And in fact, we're actually gonna hold on to the rack here to make sure we're perfectly performing these exercises. Because I believe when you're doing this movement, it's more crucial to focus on your execution and how you do the exercise as well versus how much weight you're actually moving. So Mitch is gonna hold on here. And as you can see, he's focusing on dropping his knees forward. Yes, we want our knees going over our toes. It's not gonna blow your knees up, and in fact, it's the only way you're able to isolate these quads. Now, another key here is you can see with his upper body, as he's coming down and as he's shaking here, I told you guys it was gonna be challenging, as he's shaking, he's focusing on keeping his upper body solely locked into a fixed position. Because what happens is, if he was squatting and he didn't lean back, and his hips broke. The minute his hips break, he's now activated his glutes, he's activated his hamstrings, and he's taken a little bit of tension off of the quads. So to keep all tension, all activation, all contraction going through those quads, we don't want our hips to break. And the only way they won't break is by keeping your body upright the entire time. What are you kind of focusing on mentally, kind of in your mind, as you're performing this exercise?
So I noticed that if I go, if I let myself fall back a little bit, I kind of let my knees buckle. And when I let my knees buckle is exactly when my glutes and my hamstrings will engage, kind of like what we were discussing. So from this point, you go down, you go down, you go down. So right at the bottom, it's just before I pop back up. If I go right here and sit back, it goes to my hamstrings and goes to my glutes. If I lean forward more, it's all on my quads. There's no pressure on my glutes or on my hamstrings whatsoever. So just having that mental awareness to keep the mind-muscle connection on the quads at that point, it's really, really important. And just making sure that you're keeping that overall mental mind-muscle connection.
Yeah, and there's only so much, as far as coaching that we can coach you guys here at home, right? So as you're performing these exercises, you know your body, you can feel certain things that we can't feel throughout your body. So if this is your first time doing this, hold on here and work through progressions, right? Go here, like go with what you can comfortably do. Do a couple weeks of that, then get a little bit deeper, right? You're probably not going to go all the way down on the ground like Mitch did the first time, right? Pro bodybuilder, young man, under 30, incredibly healthy. His body is built for this. If we haven't done an exercise like this in 30 years, you might do a couple inches, and that's gonna be okay, because remember, it's about what tension and activation we're actually creating in the muscle.
Exactly.
So, any last minute words for the people at home?
I mean, just keep in mind that it's not all about the weight at the end of the day. I mean, too many people focus on like the weight that they're doing and stuff, and they think that really attributes to like the results that they're going to see. And like you said, some people need to have a shorter range of motion just to start. If they haven't been in the gym for a while, then you need to start slow and just take things, maybe do like 3 sets of 10 or something like that. Just
3 sets of 10, and we saw him shaking, right? So if we gotta start here, we gotta hold on. Our next progression of overloading would be to not hold on. Then if you master these and you do 3 sets, then you can put a plate on your chest. And that would be kind of the progression model of how you'd use this exercise. But like I said, guys, a staple way back in the day, if you look at Arnold's quads, if you look at Vince's quads, if you look at the guys back from the classic area, incredible VMO development, incredible shape, structure. There we go, man. So check it out there, guys. If you want the free report, down there in the pinned comment below, 8x8, the Gironda style, I know you guys will love it. But for Mitch, the Sissy himself, Coach Frank, we love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Sissy 1 and 2, baby.